Who doesn't want to know more about submissions? We have an expert.
It's the Writing for Children podcast with your host, Katie Davis. Katie's an author herself and is the director of the Institute of Children's Literature, where since 1969, aspiring writers have learned to write for children and get published.
Episode 086, an exclusive interview with submissions expert Julie Hedlund.
We want to write for children. We want to dream up stories in prose and poetry, from YA to picture books. You'll write a novel, I'll maybe try nonfiction, but we'll need help along the way. So there's a podcast, and it can save us, Writing for Children with Katie Davis. Let's write for children, we'll take it day by day.
Hi everybody, I hope your week was fantastic. You may have heard me talking a lot about our new membership called the Writer's Block. It is going great. We have people signing up every day. It's been so much fun to see the enthusiasm in our Facebook group and with the people in the group and signing up, and it's just amazing. I'm going to tell you a little bit about it, but if you are interested in checking it out, go to bit.ly/thewritersblock. That's bit.ly/thewritersblock. So, what exactly is the writer's block? Well, you know how procrastination and disorganization and overwhelm are the three top reasons people don't get their writing done? Is it up there in why people don't get things submitted or published? Well, the Writer's Block is a virtual, inspirational community for writers. It's a private clubhouse offering you writing inspiration and support and publishing instruction and access to experts, marketing skills, and so much more. It's a place to get encouragement to keep you going when the going hits a dead stop. It's a welcoming front porch when you just can't seem to continue, and I know how often that happens. Or even get yourself started. As a member of the Writer's Block, you'll be our neighbor with curated and exclusive access to expert interviews and special products and discounts and market news. You can choose from 2 different levels, either first story or second story, whichever suits your needs and your budget. And if you join now in the early days, you'll be a charter member and you'll have the same original low rate as long as you keep your charter neighbor key active. So you can become a second story neighbor and get even more opportunity plus fresh content, support, and tips every month. You can join month to month and quit anytime, and you get new stuff every single month. Exclusive industry expert interviews and a guest article with even more in-depth expert content. You get surprise, ever-changing discounts, and a new 2-minute toolkit from Institute instructor, author Nancy Kofelt. You get inspiring prompts. I started a double dog dare and also a front porch chat where I give a little writing lesson every month. You get free access to all Institute contest workshops. And we have a private Facebook group to connect with other writers and with me. You get a monthly webinar. It's amazing. The value is huge. Hundreds and hundreds of dollars worth of benefits and fresh content and support and tips every month for 75 cents a day. And 75 cents a day is a pretty dang good investment in your writing. And if you're a first story member, it's like 40 cents a day. And you can't even buy anything for 40 cents. Frankly, I'm not sure if you can buy anything for 75 cents. You might be able to buy a piece of gum. I'm not sure. Anyway, if you're interested, go check out bit.ly/thewritersblock. Now let's hear from Julie Hedlund. Hi, Julie.
Hi, Katie.
Welcome. So today's guest is my dear friend, Julie Hedlund, and I will get into her introduction in a second, but we're doing a video and an audio because I'm going to be putting part of this on the podcast. If if you're listening, hi podcast listeners. And if you're a member of the Writer's Block, our great neighborhood, our I don't want to say membership because it's a neighborhood and we have neighbors.
In your neighborhood.
That's right. And I'm really excited about it. So if you're interested in knowing that and getting the full interview, just go to bit.ly, that's bit.ly/freeifw, and you can get prompts and get some information, and it's all cool. So if you are listening/watching and you're not making picture books, no fretting allowed, because it doesn't matter. A lot of what we are talking about today can be applied to any kind of book. And yes, the focus will be largely on picture books because Julie has become an expert in pitching picture books, submitting. I made up a new word. Submitting in submissions. She's an expert in submissions after creating with Emma Walton Hamilton the complete picture book submission system. And so you're also an author yourself, Julie, and the founder and leader of the 12 by 12 challenge, the picture book challenge. And in the name of total transparency, you and I are good friends, and we are fellow grammar complete nerds, and we are co-founders of Picture Book Summit, the first online conference of its kind. So let's get right into it and give these people some good info, because oh my gosh, you guys, I just want to start this whole thing with, I watched a webinar that Julie and Emma did on picture book submissions, and using what they said, and we're going to talk about it today, I rewrote my picture book pitch, sent it to my agent. She was like, oh, this is so helpful. This is going to really be great. So already it's working for me.
I'm so happy to hear that.
Yeah. Yeah, she loved it.
Okay.
So I'm going to ask you the top 3 most important things anyone can do prior to submitting, and we will also talk about the top 3 things to do when you submit. And lastly, we're going to cover how to make your submission really noticeable, and this is what I learned and sent to my agent, Elizabeth Harding. So before we do get into it, one thing I do want to ask is, what is a pitch party? Because we're going to be offering our neighbors, it's kind of goofy, but I don't care, our neighbors in the writer's block, on the writer's block. We'll figure that how to say that stuff out eventually. On the block. We are gonna we're gonna have a pitch party for them. So and exclusively for our neighbors. I'm gonna feel so goofy saying that, but it's fine. Okay. So what do people? You've done pitch parties for people who actually own your submissions system, but. So what have they gotten out of it, and what is it exactly? How does it work?
Okay. Well, it might be easier to understand by the time we get to the end of the podcast, because when we talk about what makes your book noticeable, the biggest, most important thing is your pitch or your hook sentence for your book. So people sometimes call it a pitch, it's called a hook, it's called a log line, elevator pitch, whatever. It's the very short 1 to 3 sentence summary of your book. And it is kind of astonishing how difficult these are to write. And I think most people would say that writing the pitch or the log line is harder than writing the actual book.
I would have to agree with that. And I had the formula too.
So our dear friend and my partner in crime for the complete picture book submission system, Emma Walton Hamilton, is not here today, unfortunately.
But she is writing something for our neighbors.
She is writing something for you, which you should read and read again and read again.
Yeah.
Because Emma is so gifted with query letters and pitches. She's like a magician.
She is.
I mean, I feel like I can give some really good points and feedback too. And it's nice because when we do it together, you get 2 perspectives of people who read a lot of submissions. But what we do is we just get online in a forum like this, and we take pitches for I don't know how you're going to organize it for your group, but for our group, we basically just take them in the order they come in, and we critique them live. and we don't,
awesome.
There's no names attached to them and whatnot, but what you get to see is, it's such a huge learning experience, because how many times do you get the opportunity to see 15 pitches
Right.
in an hour that all get, feedback and advice on here's what this is doing well and here's where it needs work. And by the end of it, you see where a lot of the common pitfalls are when people are writing their pitches.
Right.
So
it's kind of like our contest, when we run contests quarterly, and we announce the winners and who won the cash prizes and everything, but then we also critique the winners. So people see not only who won, but how winners can even improve on their work and make them even better. So and you see it live, live critique. So that's kind of cool.
Yeah. And we've been doing it for 3 years now for members, for students of our complete picture book submission system, and they love it. And, so
awesome.
They're in high demand, but we've never done one outside our own group before, but we're excited to meet your folks.
We're honored. Okay, well, cool. Well, let's get into let's get in some content for the people who are listening, who are not our members or not our neighbors. And let's get to it. What are the 3 most important things someone can do prior to submitting?
Okay, well, I'm going to preface this by saying, I think a lot of my answers to your questions are going to be things that people don't really want to hear. However, if you do hear and listen and take them to heart and implement, I promise you'll be...
I just have to let you know what you're about to hear is Julie's giant dog, Rocky, sneezing or belching or something and catching us completely by surprise, and that is what we are laughing about.
Ahead of. Okay, you have to just leave that in there. That's my dog having some kind of
I'm sorry, people. This
sounds like a cat hairball. Okay,
let's get.
I promise you that you'll be ahead of the game, okay, if you follow all these things. The most
Sorry, this is really funny. I assume we cut out all the previous coughing and noise and barking and stuff, so it's going to sound like we are laughing for no reason, but okay, right. We're back.
Can I just... All right.
Serious now. Yes, serious writers.
The first and most important thing you want to do before you submit is to make sure your manuscript is submission ready. It may sound obvious, but the biggest mistake people make is they submit too soon.
Yes.
They write a book. They think it's amazing. Their friends and family tell them they think it's amazing. They, find names of agents and editors and they send it out. And it takes years. I hate to say that, but it does. It takes years, usually. I mean, you can, even for a picture book, which is short, you can't just sit down and write it and then a month later start sending it out.
When Julie says it takes years, she doesn't mean to submit. She means to craft the book into beautiful prose, or if you are trying to rhyme, you have to make sure you know what you're doing. And it
right.
Right.
So what I would say is, if you're not sure your manuscript is submission ready, that probably means you need to spend more time working on your craft. And a lot of people make the mistake of sending too soon. If you have done that, it's okay. You just
don't panic.
Right. You just go back and you keep working, which leads me to, and this piece of advice is for picture book authors in particular. The first thing an agent will ask you if they like your manuscript is, what else do you have? So the rule of thumb is you want to have not just one, But 3, submission ready. That means completely polished, ready to go manuscripts.
Right.
You only send 1 per submission, but you have to anticipate that they're going to ask you for more. Most agents will not sign a picture book, especially a picture book author only, without multiple manuscripts. And speaking of agents and editors, that leads me to the 3rd thing that you must do before submitting, and that is to research agents and editors. So first and foremost, do you want to submit directly to publishers? Many of them are not open. Yes, thank you, Katie. That's where you're going to go for your research.
Yeah, and some people aren't watching this, so I held up our 2018 edition of the Book Markets for Children's Writers. It's an annual guide, and it's got tons of information on agents and editors, and so it's pretty. Right. It's about 2 inches thick.
Between that and just the websites of the agencies and publishing houses, there's really no excuse to not know who you're submitting to and why. If you just start taking, let's say you've written a middle grade novel, and you just start looking up agents who are children's agents, and you just send, mass email. And let's say your middle grade is fantasy, and you send to an agent who
does nonfiction.
Like fantasy.
Yeah, maybe she only
who wants contemporary, whatever. Then you've wasted that agent's time, and you've wasted your own time. You have a far better chance if you are selecting agents who you think would be a good fit for your work. Same thing with publishers. Now, with publishers, like I said, not all of them are open to unagented submissions. But if they are, you still don't want to send something. If they're looking for, lyrical, literary, prose picture books, and you have a high concept, jumpy rhyme, don't send it to them. It's okay. You don't have to send your book to everybody.
Also, not only that, but you will look like an amateur that you don't know what you're doing and you haven't done your research, and they'll be like, so right. you want to make sure that you're doing, this is a profession, this is a job, and this is something that you need to behave professionally with. And I think a lot of times people think that because it's writing for children or writing because it's creative, and it's a passion that people do, you have to be passionate about it to do it. I think people think they don't have to be as professional or about it or as locked down. And I find that baffling.
It's a business.
It is business.
It's an art, but it's also a business. Mm-hmm. And the people you're sending your submissions to are on the business side. Mm-hmm. They love great books, and that's why they're in the business. But they have to be able to sell. They have to think that they can sell that book, and they have to know that you are a professional and that you know what you're doing, and that the agent is putting their faith in the right place.
Right.
In terms of your career.
This is amazing, Julie, and we are going to continue on and talk about what to do when you submit, 3 things, the top 3 things you should do when you should submit, and we're also going to cover how to make your submission really, really noticeable, and the things that I learned that I sent to Elizabeth that she freaked out over. And so the pitch party, we will announce it to our people in the writer's block. And but for the people listening to the podcast, again, if you want our prompts and some information about the writer's block, you're more than welcome to check it out. Just go to bit.ly/freeifw, and you can go there and check it out. Well, that's it for this week. I hope you enjoyed that. If you are interested in the writer's block, you get a lot more of that interview. She really shares a lot. And just go to bit.ly/the writer's block and check it out. You see what you get, and you can join for a month if you want. We have a critique. We have a critique for the January members. And February, I don't know what we're going to do. Oh, it's so exciting. It's so cool. Lots of people signing up, and I hope you're one of them. Talk to you soon. Bye.